Welcome to CSL Podcast. Here, we'll delve deeper into the field of cyberscience through enlightening discussions with leading professionals. I'm Wilma, your host for today's episode. Today, we'll be discussing a cutting edge approach to cybersecurity, focusing on a patent method and system for adversarial malware threat prevention and adversarial sample generation. Did you know that cyber attacks have increased by over 600% since the pandemic started? This episode will explore the innovative solutions developed by our guest to combat this threat effectively. So, our guest today is Haddadpajouh, a senior researcher in computer security here at the Cyber Science Lab. His research focuses on machine learning solutions for computer security challenges, particularly in adversarial machine learning. So, welcome to CSL Podcast.
Thank you, Ila. Thank you for having me today. Yeah, I'm happy to share my insight and my research with you and with your audiences.
Oh, thank you. So let's start. Could you tell us a bit about your background and what drew you to this field of computer security?
Sure, yeah. So it's like a journey for me. So I've always been a bit of computer geek since I was a little kid, and during my high school time, I started learning with my learning Microsoft courses. Yeah, we call it MCSE, Microsoft Security and Microsoft Engineering courses, and by learning those materials, security and cybersecurity hooked me. And when I reached to my final year of study at my university, my college, was involved with my first cybersecurity research project focusing on ISMS, Information Security Management System. And when I went to my grad school, I started working with the machine learning approaches on cybersecurity solutions problem and issue, and we could deliver the anomaly detection for network intrusion detection systems. And I've been working with the different industrial partner as part of my cybersecurity journey. Started working with the enterprises and providing them some kind of enterprise security solution, especially focusing on AI and machine learning approaches. And after I moved to Canada, I joined Cyber Science Lab. Actually, we launched the Cyber Science Lab with Dr. Dagan Tanha here, and I started my research here with the Cyber Science Lab. Actually, we work on our very first project here in Canada, and notably, it was the part of National Defense of Canada. We provide a cyber threat attribution project for them, and then we work with the different industrial partner, and we could deliver like the very first operational technology or OT firewall prototype for one of our industrial partner, and the project was backed by Ontario Innovation Center. And then I working on the research and working with the team in a cyber science lab, and here I am.
Wow, that's fascinating to hear how your journey began in cyber science lab history too. So I'm glad that you share with us. And can you introduce to us your paper and explain the problem you were trying to solve with the method and system for adversarial malware threat prevention and adversarial sample generation?
This is my latest paper that we could successfully accepted by one of the most prominent conferences in cybersecurity, NDSS. It was generating some adversarial malware example, and we could also detecting those malware example coming from the Gen AI, because these days the Gen AI is the Gen AI wave, and the Gen AI are going further and further. And one of the most important issue with the Gen AI gonna be the cybersecurity and security issue with the Gen AI, and especially the malware are one of the most promising delivery method in cybersecurity, and actually could be in Gen AI approaches as well. We could deliver very first method and system and framework actually for detecting and preserving the security and robustness of the machine learning approach who are defending malware against the malware, and we generated some adversarial sample, and we could detect it through our method. We use the GAN architecture. We customized the GAN architecture, and we could generate and analyze the feature vector of the generated sample, and we could detect it through our framework. Actually, we patent the approach. It is available, and everyone can see the patent over our Google Scholar.
It's amazing. Your explanation clarifies the critical need for such pattern in today's threat landscape. So, what challenges did you face during your research, and how do these challenges impact the real world in applications?
Very great question. So when you're dealing with the Gen AI threat, especially in the malware realm, you need to be cautious because the executable file, actually, all the executable need to be functional for working and running on the platform. So this is gonna be very most barrier when you're generating sample or executable sample in your like Gen AI approaches. So one of the most challenging part of our research is creating some example that are functional and could run on the platform. So the next challenge was about working on the platform and try to modify the executable file without changing the behavior of it. And this is one of the most challenging part of our research, and we could work on bytecode and injecting some bytecode into the malicious payload, malicious executable file, and we could bypass the defensive mechanism, machine learning based defensive mechanism like malcon.
These challenges highlight the complexity of
Yeah,
cybersecurity solutions.
it is. Yeah, it is high complex problem when you're working with the executable file, especially because you cannot change everything like the image, like the voice, like the text. Because when you're changing something, the executable file could not run on the platform on operating system.
Of course. And can you share with us some of the significant findings or results from your research?
Sure, yeah. So we could generate some adversarial example that are functional and they can run on IoT platform or cloud edge devices without changing like a significant number of bytes, right? We could modify the executable file, the malicious executable file, to flip or bypass the defensive mechanism without changing significant byte code or byte level of the executable file. So this is one of our significant result because the previous approaches needs like to change over, for example, 2000 bytes to be successful in bypassing the defensive mechanism. We need only, for example, 256 or 512 for changing not changing the behavior, changing the decision boundary of the defensive mechanism, like Malcolm, as I mentioned.
Thank you for sharing these finding details that underscore the potential impact of your research on improving cybersecurity measures. And what are the key benefits of your findings? What future research or developments do you anticipate in this field?
So yeah, that's a great question. So we are, as I mentioned, we are in evolving area of like evolving area of the cybersecurity, and everything's are gonna be dependent with AI. And having the same approach on different level of the delivery method, not only the malware, could be like the script, could be everything, can be uh, pain points of the security mechanism or security defensive mechanism. So this is very important that you need to keep your environment safe or robust against the adversarial attack or Gen AI based attack, not only the adversarial coming from like GAN architecture or generative adversarial network architecture, every aspect of the Gen AI. So you need to be like cautious about the upcoming and future attack or future threats coming from AI or machine learning agents. So this is one of the most important thing that everyone now in the industry, in the market should keep in their mind, because we work with the industry actively, and this is one of their their concern about their defensive mechanism. Because we used to good with the malware using the signature-based detection approaches like the antiviruses or firewall creating some rules. But what if the AI could learn about those defensive mechanisms and generate their adversarial example or adversarial attack?
Of course, that's so important. And at the same time, inspiring and to see
Thank you.
how the outgoing potential of the advancements in this field. And where can our audience find your papers and learn more about you, your research, and to reach you out?
So yeah, most of our paper are accessible through like the library at the University of Guelph, Google Scholar, and also our data set also available through the Cyber Science Lab repository on GitHub.
Perfect. That's great. And do you have any final thoughts or message you would like to share with our audience?
So yeah, as I mentioned, we are changing the paradigm in cybersecurity. We are in evolution area of the changing the paradigm of cybersecurity, working with the traditional aspect or traditional approaches to make your environment more robust is not working anymore in next few like years, because with the fast pace of generative AI and fast pace of the AI, everything's going to be changed, and you need to be more cautious about the cyber threats coming from the AI agents, not only from the adversaries or human-based adversaries. Now adversaries could be like AI agent or AI engine. So this is one of most important thing that new researcher in cybersecurity field should be consider and try to work with the AI models and learn about the how the AI model work actually, because now the vulnerability exists in the AI model is gonna be the next issue, the next concern when you are deploying them in your environment. So this is very important right now. So try to understand everything about the AI model that you're going to deploy on your environment, and try to evaluate them and try to assess them through through not only the adversarial attack, all the vulnerability or threats that could be impact your AI models.
Amazing. Ahmed, in the name of the Cyber Science Lab podcast team, I extend our sincere gratitude for
Thank
joining
you.
us today and sharing our insights and expertise of this on this important topic with us. Oh, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me today. If you have any question or your audience need to ask me any question, just send me an email, shoot me an email. I'll try to reply them as soon as I could.
It's so good to hear that. Thank you. So, before we wrap up, if you are eager to delve deeper into the cutting edge cybersecurity research conducted by Cyber Science Lab, please visit our website. And don't forget to follow us on our social media networks, LinkedIn, and Instagram profiles. All links are attached to this episode description. Thank you for listening to CSL Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.